and thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Cosy Corner Podcast. We are all ready and cozy. We've got our blankets, we've got some delicious little cocktails.
Yeah,
Well, gin and tonic.
gin and
Gin and
tonic.
tonic, but with an added little twist.
Because,
It's,
Loki's
yeah,
aesthetic is green.
fitting, isn't it?
It's
A little bit of
fitting.
Loki magic.
Yeah.
It's infused with Loki magic.
Mhm.
There's more wonder, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my wonder.
It
That was my wonder. But
was a bit, but yeah, we've got our Loki G&Ts. I feel like I should just name this Glorious Purpose.
yeah, the glorious purpose.
The Glorious Purpose.
This is the glorious purpose.
Yes. And today we're going to be discussing season 1 and 2 of Loki.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this because
I'm really excited.
it's literally, I think that's to date my favorite Marvel TV series.
Yeah.
I mean, it could even be my favorite Marvel content, like even above movies.
Do you know what? I think out of all the series that they've done, nothing comes close to Loki. I really like Loki. I love Loki and Thor. He's my favourite character of the Thor films.
I mean, he is a challenging character.
But
He starts off.
I think he's got the best character development.
Absolutely, the most satisfying, I think. Like, he starts off, obviously, comes in, and he is, the villain of the story, ultimately.
Yeah.
But once we get to know him and understand him more, we can see he's not a villain. He's an anti-hero. And a lot of his evilness comes from childhood issues and abandonment and his dad and the family and, finding out he's adopted.
He basically got lied to his whole life.
Yes, the whole Frost Giant thing.
That's it. And I would love to have seen more of that.
I think we needed to see more Loki Frost Giants.
Okay, they done the what if, and I kind of like that, but I wanted to see more of like the TVA jumping a bit over here. But when they went to the TVA, why didn't that wear off?
Yeah,
when Odin died in Ragnarok.
Some people online,
that spell should have been broken.
It should have in theory, but some people have said, that spells like that, I think it was something along the lines of it can only be broken by the person who cast it.
When Odin died, he didn't actually break that spell.
It was something along those lines.
Okay, I get
which
that
maybe, but I don't know. I mean, we've seen that in like Far From Home. Doctor Strange cast the spell, and all the Peter Parkers came over, and then he was the one who fixed it.
Yeah.
Would that have been fixed if someone else took over, like Wanda? Would she have been able to fix it, or would it have had to be the same person?
Yeah.
We need that clarification, really.
Yeah, but that sounds right, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that sounds right.
It seems logically correct for that kind of magic and from what we've seen. So it might be that the only way to undo that spell is for Odin himself to do it.
Yeah, to do that. But I would just have loved to have seen in Ragnarok when Odin passes, he just slowly turns back into a frost giant.
But practically as well, it's not
great. He chooses whether he wants to be a frost giant or whether he wants to be an Asgardian. But don't forget, he had a lot of hatred for the frost giants.
He did. Yeah, it was complicated.
It was complicated.
And it's very much ingrained in who he is as well. And so it is a complicated one. But with them saying in the TVA, like, no magic works here, it then does beg the question, well, why?
Yeah.
Why does Odin's magic work on him where it, keeps that facade of not being a frost giant? So,
that spell still stands. Yeah, can I just throw a little tangent here?
Oh, we're all for tangents here. We've already gone on about 11.
I am literally right now writing a Lokius fanfic.
Yes. Okay, we're doing this.
Yeah. That was giving me a high five.
Well, I was more just celebratory, but high five's a great too.
High five. We should have done a cheers.
to the Lokius fanfic.
Lokius fanfic.
Yes.
But
I can't wait for this to be out there.
It's more of a hobby that I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
As in, like, in my spare time, I've always wanted to write a fanfic, and I ship Lokius. I love Lokius.
If you don't ship Lokius, get off this podcast.
Yeah.
Stop listening, because we're going to be talking about them.
Actually, comment below who you ship.
Some people ship Sylvie and Loki.
Yeah.
Who ships Loki?
No,
Silky. That's not even a good name.
Silky
or Slokey. It doesn't work either way, does it?
No, if I'm
Whereas
not a fan.
For Lokius, you've got Lokius or Moki.
Lokius.
Moki, yeah.
Lokius.
I do prefer Lokius.
I love Lokius.
Two options, very solid options.
Definitely. I ship Lokius, and I'm writing a little fan fiction about them. And it's going to be about 3 or 4 chapters. I'm not sure yet. Just a little hobby. And
I've read a little bit, and I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
I feel like I can, and I might change things around. So I actually don't want to read a little segment right now.
You don't have to share it if you don't want to. Yeah.
In case I do change it and people read it and it's not there.
Yeah.
But I like the whole plot is that the first chapter, I'll say, is basically.
Just fair warning, it's quite dark.
It's quite dark. It's a trigger of basically abuse and attacks and, physical abuse.
Yeah. A lot of that.
Mobius is basically imprisoned in a cell in Asgard, and basically he's the brunt of Odin's attacks. Whenever Odin is angry or something happens, he attacks Mobius. But Loki,
what I want to know is, why is he on Asgard?
I haven't thought that yet.
Okay.
That's a way.
It's the process. Trust the process. Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Well, I'm excited to get to that.
Now, Mobius was taken to Asgard by Odin, but Odin will not reveal to anybody, not a soul, how he began to own Mobius. But Mobius comes from a very powerful but very feared and dangerous species. In this fanfic. Yeah, just to clarify, in the fanfic. Basically, it's my own story. It's just a spin-off. But with other IP. Yeah. Because it's fanfic. Like, that's how that works. That's how that works. Just doing a story. But it is a work in progress. Progress. It is a work in progress, and I'm having fun writing it. I think as I said to you, I'm thinking of doing chapter by chapter. And the other day I wrote 8 pages, so it's going well. Yeah. I think I've shown you how much I've wrote. I've read some of it. Yeah, you've read some of it, and you said it was good. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. So different, but interesting. I liked it. I've got a very dark, twisted mind. It did give me an insight into your mind that I didn't really need to have, but I enjoyed it. I've named the fan fiction Broken Apart Altogether. So the first chapter is showing why they're broken. So Mobius is sort of broken because he doesn't know who he is. Yeah. He only knows a cell on Asgard. But Loki, that's so sad and dark. Honestly, because he discovers he's been lied to for all these years since he was a child, because he's not an Asgardian, he's a frost giant. So they've been brought up. But there's these moments when Loki comes to visit Mobius in a cell that it feels whole. And also a little bit of sexual tension, dare I say. So you never know. But honestly, keep tuned. I will let you guys know when the first chapter's out. But I actually don't want to say a date or a time because it is basically I write it when I have time. Yeah. So, but we will keep you updated. Yes, we'll keep you updated on Abby's Lokius fanfic. Yeah. I'm very invested. I'm excited. Honestly, I feel like creative writing's my calling. It might be. It will, isn't it? I think dark creative writing, though. Yeah. Specifically. I'm really good at it, aren't I? Dark. Yeah. Abusive. No, but it makes sense. it's not all the way through like the whole story.
I think it makes sense to you, and it will eventually make sense to the audience.
Chapter, it needs to be like that to understand why they're broken, because it wouldn't make sense if it was broken and you don't know why they're sort of like a bit.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
So
keep excited for it.
Your ears and eyes peeled, and I will tell you when it's out, guys. We will let you know.
Well, getting back into season 1 and 2, that doesn't seem like there's going to be a season 3. It looks like they're leaving it as 2 halves of a book, as they said. It does feel like a natural end to the series.
Loki needs to come back. There's no way Thor can let him know that he's.
First of all, Loki.
Here's a tray.
Well, it's a Yggdrasil. I think it's called Yggdrasil. Something like that.
Isn't he isn't it Norse mythology?
Norse mythology, Yggdrasil. Yeah. Which is the tree of life, I believe.
Yeah, that's it.
I love Norse mythology.
We talk about 2B.
Well, we can do, but I've got a list.
Okay.
I need to keep us on track.
Okay.
We've been getting off track too much.
We have.
But it's currently very late.
It is. We're filming the 4 episodes, by the way.
In one night.
And it's really fun.
It's a lot, though.
It's fun. A lot. It is a lot.
Good job we enjoy it. Right. So, I do think that this series as a whole, 1 and 2, has been a perfect intro into seeing who Loki really is.
Yeah.
And allowing us to see him as an anti-hero, but then also eventually, ultimately, as a hero. We get to see that character growth, the journey. When he first gets to the TVA, he's very entitled, and he's like, "Do you know who you're talking to?" You know.
Definitely, but I love how he ended up being the one that he doesn't always have to win.
Self-sacrificing, and
that's it.
He ended up becoming something that he didn't think he could ever become.
Exactly.
Which was a hero.
That's it. I love the way he was sort of like, you don't always have to win.
No.
You don't always have to be a god.
I think him and Sylvie both very much accepted that Lokis tend to just lose.
Yeah, but I felt like Sylvie was a very selfish character.
She was. I can understand her selfishness.
I can, but in the second series, she began to annoy me a little bit.
It did get annoying. It was like, okay, we get it.
She didn't need to shout her poor sweet angel movies.
Oh, over the pie as well.
What else was he supposed to do?
There was nothing else going on. He didn't know what to do.
Exactly.
He's in shock.
He wants to comfort you.
Let him eat his pie.
Key lime pie.
But that pie did look a bit weird, suspicious. I don't know what they were putting into it.
When I try it.
Give it a go, but I don't know if I'd survive.
Yeah, it looked very fluorescent.
It did look like they've pumped into it like some kind of radiation or something. Yeah. Anyway, we do throughout season 1 and 2 get to see the use of his different powers, which we don't really see in the movies.
No,
it's not explored. And I like that in this series, he explores. He can do telekinesis where he stopped that building from falling.
Yeah. Do you know what I love though? When he sort of, when is it Brad? The child went after him, and then there's like
the shadows and the projections.
Far, and he goes,
I thought it was spot on.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, Loki, and I was like, yes, Loki in that time.
Oh, those suits. Okay.
Definitely.
The ruffles. They were doing it for me, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they were good.
And
he looked very nice.
It's a perfect suit for Loki and just a perfect one for Mobius.
Yeah.
The costume department. But I do say they did go wrong in one area.
Where?
The time slippers.
No, they were disgusting. They were like Tom wearing Toms. They were vile. Like the fact that they told them to wear them shoes.
Who? I need to know.
But saying that though, he's got comfort sitting on that.
No. I don't think so. But I just need to know who pitched that idea and who signed off on it. He wore basically ballet slippers to the end of time.
Yeah.
And he looked so cool until the slippers.
Yeah,
He was so cool. The
like the
horns,
shoes. Yeah,
like
do you remember the shoes?
cape. Oh,
do you remember the shoes like Tom's?
Yeah.
That's what they were.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just not. It's
it,
not
it
good.
wasn't good. They done Tom Hiddleston very dirty on
They
that
did
one.
do him dirty on that. And you know what? Tom was an executive producer on season 2.
Yeah.
He could have had a say.
Yeah, why didn't you say I'm not wearing that?
Tom, why didn't you speak up?
Exactly.
Come on. I mean, you have to draw the line somewhere, and I think those time slippers were the right place. Oh, absolutely. They drew a line in the sand of what is acceptable to wear and what is not. I mean, there's no structural support. I know he's sitting on a throne for a while, right? That's what he's doing at the end of the time. He's holding time together. I don't even think there's comfort because there's no actual support at all in what was like essentially ballet slippers.
Out of everything, we're just getting into the shoes.
They're the main issue with the series.
Can you like literally remember them voice notes we sent each other?
We sent like
it was for about 2 hours.
Like 50 voice notes about
the
shoes.
Like, oh my god, it was vile.
Because everything was so on point.
Yeah.
He's becoming Loki, god of stories.
Yeah.
He's got the new horns.
He's leaving that mischief behind.
Yes.
He's becoming
Mischief.
Yeah.
Who's she? Don't know her anymore.
The
god of stories.
The god of life. You get down to the shoes and you're like, Loki, you've let yourself down.
It was going so well. We had these new horns with, I've forgotten the name of it, but it's that Japanese or Chinese like art where it's like, well, not art, but like when things get broken, people used to mend them with gold and glue things back together. So and then that broken thing is now more valuable because it was broken.
Well, he makes sense,
which is symbolic.
Yeah, because he's like basically mending.
He is broken. He is broken.
Yeah.
And he is fixing things.
Exactly.
And he is more valuable for it.
Yeah.
And he's better off for it.
But them shoes, they're in.
No, I did enjoy though the whole cape situation, all the different fabrics.
Yeah, I did.
It felt really like primal what he was wearing, like, and it felt fitting.
It felt like a new Loki.
Oh, it's brand new Loki. You can even see on his face, like he knew I'm becoming this new person and all that, and it was really, really symbolic and incredible to watch.
Yeah.
The performance by Tom Hiddleston, outstanding. Yeah. I think this has got to be his best performance as the entire Loki series.
In this world can play Loki.
No one.
Tom Hiddleston is Loki.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'd really enjoyed, his portrayal throughout the series. It's been incredible.
Yeah, not just in the series, as in the
and everything. Well. The only complaint is I want more in the films. We don't get enough. That's why we needed this series.
We did. I was so happy when they brought I was so happy we needed that second series, obviously. Yeah. But I felt like I hope they don't drag it out. When that first series ended.
Yeah.
And obviously it was like Loki will return. I was like, oh yeah, sure he will. I cannot wait. But I felt like I didn't want it rushed, and then it just dragged out the rest of the episodes. And it didn't. It just the right amount of pace of them second series.
Well, apparently,
I loved it.
A lot of the second series did end up changing.
Did it?
Yes, I believe it could have been like episode 4 or 5. Completely was rewritten in one night because something couldn't happen. I can't remember what. But they did change that. And of course, we now know as well with Kang, the actor Jonathan Majors will no longer be portraying Kang due to his ongoing legal issues. Like, we're not going to get into that. We don't know the full story, but
no, so we're going to leave.
He won't be portraying. And you know what?
Still going that Kangaroo recast,
I don't think they're going to. It looks like they're going to steer away.
Doom, aren't they, as well?
I think there's rumours of Doctor Doom. They're thinking of steering clear of Kang, which, considering we've all just been built up to this Kang dynasty,
it's going to be like, is Loki going to mean
it just seems a bit flat and a bit weird now. I'm all for recasting Kang because it's a multiverse and all that, but apparently, from what's been reported by sites like New Rockstars and Screen Crush, they've said that in Jonathan Majors' contract, it's stated that no one else can portray Kang, only him. So if that is true, it makes things very complicated for Marvel because then they can't portray Kang and they have to change everything.
And I like Kang.
I thought he's a great villain.
Very good villain.
Really good villain, strong. The actor, I'm separating him. Sorry, I just knocked the mic. I'm separating him from the legal issues that have been ongoing for a long time. He was found guilty and all that. Okay, I'm separating that. Him as an actor, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I thought he portrayed Kang amazing.
Was brilliant. I was excited.
He was interesting. He was fun, unique.
I liked him as Mr. Timely in the second. Can we talk about the bicycles for 1 second, please?
Go on. Yeah.
The way they rocked up, like on the same bicycle, that was super cute. That was like. That
was adorable.
That
was adorable.
That like warmed my Lokius heart. Literally, I was so happy with that. But I think we need to talk about Ravonna as well, Renslayer.
Well, yeah, Renslayer and Miss Minutes. Turns out, throughout season 1, we get hints. We get hints that Ravonna's working with someone else throughout it, of course.
I didn't like that.
No, I didn't really.
She's a sassy little thing.
Yeah. Hey, y'all.
Miss Minutes, y'all.
Hey, y'all. I'm Miss Minutes.
I love her. She's a very dark, twisted, morbid thing.
Absolutely.
Look, when Renslayer was basically killing them people, in the box, making it smaller.
That was one of the darkest things that I think Marvel's done.
Yeah, I felt
we didn't see it.
No,
but the imagination.
The look on, even though she's animated, the look on her face.
That was dark.
I was like, I don't feel like we've had Thanos, guys.
Yeah.
That
felt tamer.
Half of the universe.
Yeah.
But that
was
a bit. And
the fact that it lingered on their faces watching it.
Yeah,
we were forced. We were forced to be in that moment longer than what we wanted.
That's it, because Ravonna was sort of like that, but Miss Minutes was like, yes, I love this.
Yes.
She's stepping up the real, isn't she?
She's messed up.
I want to see more Miss Minutes.
I think we will. She's obviously at the end of time now with Ravonna, so she will.
Yeah,
we're gonna see way more, definitely.
Sorry, guys, I just realised I left my Wi-Fi. My data answer just switched off. But yeah, I hope we do.
Yeah,
we need to. That can't be the end. I want to see more of OB too.
Yes, OB. I think that's a very interesting character because of name, first of all. OB Ouroboros.
Yeah, is
the entire time loop was an Ouroboros. It was all very foreshadowing and symbolic.
We had a theory at one point that he was going to be more than what he was.
I didn't think he was going to be in cahoots with Kang or Miss Minutes and no more, or doing their dirty work, but unknown to him that he was helping something bad.
I really love that he was this sweet little.
He's just a lovely little person. Yeah.
Him and when Casey met him, and he's like, "You made the hamburger," and finally someone recognized him. Someone give him the recognition that he deserved of all these years.
Yeah.
That warmed my heart a little bit,
Yes, absolutely. I think OB, that kind of character was really needed in something like Loki, because we're seeing a lot of tough, hard, dark characters as well.
We need that ray of sunshine character to break that apart.
And he was comedic relief as well. He offered a funny that moment where he's like, "We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die." And he was just lovely, and there was
he says it so naturally though, maybe your skin's gonna all peel off, and they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're all gonna die." I love that.
The delivery.
Yeah, it was
incredible.
On point, perfect.
Yeah.
I was excited when he actually got announced as that character because I really loved the Goonies. That's one of my favorite films, and he played Data.
K.U. Kwan. I just googled his name because I wanted to get it right.
I was so excited when he got announced as that character.
Incredible actor. I mean, I loved him in obviously Goonies, but then also everything, everywhere, all at once. He played. I think that is what got him Loki. I think so. I think he played a character who was really resourceful and like
Yeah.
into tech, you know, and stuff like that. And then
And
of
then
course
they
the whole
seen that.
universe hopping.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what's got him Loki there.
Yeah. And
They've
I'm so
seen he
glad
can do that
it was
kind of
him.
thing.
I'm so glad it was
The
him.
intricacies of when in season 2 we get to explore the characters more
Yeah.
and their backstories, the intricacies of OB, that he was a writer, but also he was into like science and all that, and like it all came together perfectly.
It did.
Of who OB was on the timeline and who he is now and why that works.
Yes, definitely.
And such a lovely character. I really do applaud the actor K. Hugh Kwan. He's incredible. He's underrated.
He is underrated.
He deserves all
so much
the
recognition.
Oscars.
He's an underrated gem.
Absolutely.
And I think overall, season 2, he's my favourite character. You know how much I love Loki, but he's my favourite. I mean, President Loki from season 1 was my favourite character, who I've cosplayed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And he is my favourite character of season 1. Mm-hmm. Season 2, OB, he just stole my heart straight away.
He stole the show.
He did.
Honestly. This is called Loki, but OB was the star.
Exactly, he really
brought so much to the show.
The show in every scene he did.
And I loved seeing on like the red carpet and all that for the Loki premiere and for like award seasons and all that. He shows up and he's bringing all the positive vibes. He's so excited to be there. He just seems like such a lovely person.
Definitely. And if you watch our last episode, I think that I said, didn't I? I'm not a fan of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But watching the behind the scenes that the actors were posting on their Instagram and things, and seeing how much like how they got along and the fun they had on set.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. Like I loved seeing that on Instagram. Like that was really fun. Like the fact that wasn't it someone's birthday? I don't know if it actually was OB's birthday or maybe Tom's birthday.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but honestly, it was really fun. Like looking at that, like what they actually got up to, how much that like all the cast got on.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a really nice environment. But you know who I thought was really underrated throughout the whole Loki series and a vital part? Hunter B-15.
Yeah, I needed more of her.
I wanted more.
I mean, she actually stayed and ran the TVA. With OB and Casey.
And she was the only one in season 1 who like really listens to Loki.
This isn't like
this isn't what's
supposed to
going
happen.
on. Yeah.
This is wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I actually didn't.
No, she is a vital part, but overlooked.
She is very overlooked. I mean, I didn't think
the actress herself, very expressive. When we see the timelines being pruned, or is that what they call it? I think they did prune the timelines.
She was like all up.
We didn't actually really see anything happening. We didn't see the people getting killed. But from her face, we absorbed so much of her emotion as an audience. It was powerful.
Exactly.
That's hard to do.
It is, definitely.
All we were watching was a line on a screen disappear, and then her face.
That means sort of not, but when it pans to her face, it was sort of like, wow, this is deep. This is
the devastation that she was showing.
This is devastation.
It's amazing. But I really did feel like, I mean, season 1 overall, incredible introduction to the TVA and what's going on, you know, there. And of course, we've never really seen that. It was never hinted at before, so it was a great introduction. And I loved the whole intro to Sylvie and all that. Over season 1 and 2, I'm not a big fan of Sylvie anymore.
No.
I will still cosplay as that, but
yeah. I get why she does what she does, and I get why she feels the way she feels, but in season 2, she just come off as annoying to me. It's like, do you know what?
They're unnecessary, a lot of her actions.
Exactly, because her actions are what resulted in it all. You know, and then she
killed who remains.
But she's found
that's now the reason why all the timelines will be, you know,
this is
non-existent.
Yeah.
And then she's complaining, oh, well, my timeline's not going to be in existence. Exactly. Well, love, you did that.
Then she found her own branch. And when Loki and Lokius
turned
up, it was sort of like, you've got to like finish this drink to tell me why you're here.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like, yeah, you know, they've come to ask you for help because you've basically messed everything up.
Yeah, it is all their fault, and she knows that, and that's why she's being like that. Because she knows it's their fault.
I completely started to just hate her when she shouted at me.
She was annoying, but I can understand why she felt that way.
I loved the sort of scene with her and Loki in the key lime pie cafeteria.
Yeah, that was a very vulnerable scene.
It was. And I loved when she said, you know, it was Loki that said we can't play God or something.
Someone said that, and then someone said we are gods, but I can't remember who said what.
No, I think she said we can't play God, and he said we are God.
Yeah, that's powerful.
That was so powerful. And that I love that bit, like that scene alone, where I was like, you know what, you tell her. Yeah.
What I felt like is season 1 built up everything that we need to know. It's the world building for the TVA. And it did give us some emotional moments with characters like on Lamentus and stuff like that, like, and some fun moments as well that were on Lamentus on the train and like other stuff. But I don't think it was until season 2 until we really got to see the payoff of the character development, as well as, you know, deep dive into the actual characters. It just felt like season 1 was the world building.
Yeah.
And then season 2 was, this is the payoff. This is everything that we've been building to.
Yeah.
And it felt bigger and better from the first episode. We were right into it right away. It took off.
Right to the first episode, I was hooked.
Oh.
You know, it was...
Like, it just, season 2 really just put it out of the water.
It really just sort of sucked you in.
It did.
You know?
And then I think episode 2 kind of took it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like from episode 1, we needed that little drop in energy because episode 1 was so big, busy, crazy. Everyone's going to die. Like,
you know, when I feel like this showed that we are such Loki fans that when we were in the hotel, Emily actually brought her laptop.
Specifically so we can watch Loki.
Because we stayed in the hotel the Friday. Yeah. We were going to Comic-Con the Saturday.
Didn't Loki air, like, on the first day or the Friday?
The Friday. Oh, no, we watched it on the Saturday because we went to Shiverpool on the Friday.
Yeah.
So when we came back from food, we plugged everything in. Emily
and we
like,
watched
the magic,
Loki.
Like, Loki shimmer. Yeah. We literally, and then we literally, I think we had lemonade, didn't we? We had lemonade. We put and then we
didn't have gin that time. We do today.
Yeah, we do today. But we sat and we watched an episode of Loki, and we then was like, we'll have an early night. We'll watch Loki. Then we'll
early night.
The anti-history.
Well, you know, that's another time. That's another time. That's another time. We can't do that tonight.
An hour talking about anti-histories, but as I said, that's for another time.
We will get to that one day.
Yeah.
That is a story.
That is nothing that needs to be said, and I don't know why I brought that up.
We need to tell that one day. On the next podcast, we will.
Nah.
We will.
Nah.
I think so. I told an embarrassing story on the podcast, didn't I? Earlier today, which will be like a few weeks ago for the audience. The drink spilling, like the cocktail masterclass, like.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know. Okay.
So how about we get?
Like a goldfish.
How about we get to Lokius? Let's explore Lokius fully.
My heart.
Right. When do we think the first moment was where we had an inkling, like they might actually be interested in each other, soulmates, perhaps? When do we think that started? Because I always think Mobius, he saw something in Loki, not love at first, not attraction, but he saw someone who's misunderstood.
Yeah.
I think you're misunderstood. I can be misunderstood.
Yeah.
And I want to help you.
Yeah.
There was something there where he felt a connection, and I think from exploring that connection, he developed feelings.
Like it was the build-up of Lokius in season 1, and it was season 2 where it sort of got shown a bit more.
But I do in season 1. There's hints.
I think that hug. I think there was a bit of realization in that hug in season 1 that was a bit like.
I think,
feel something
the
for
moment
you.
where they're in the void and
Yeah.
they're saying goodbye, like, because Loki's going to go.
Yeah.
Loki and Sylvie are going to go
And
off.
he sort of like went to shake his hand and then he
Yeah.
hugged him.
That
And
moment.
that was a big thing for Loki because Loki's very hesitant to even
Yeah,
shake
Loki
someone's
doesn't
hand.
let people in
No.
because he gets
and
hit.
To let Mobius in was a big
Massive.
wow moment.
Massive.
You know?
Wow.
That will be the end of Mobius because everything he's in, he goes wow. And honestly, he has not said that.
That naturally just happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
That we both knew what. Yeah. I knew what you meant.
This bit is going on TikTok, just to let you know.
Wow.
It's all like cats. It's all cats and heat.
I love that.
Right, anyway.
Okay.
Lokius.
But
I do think probably that moment is where it became apparent, but I reckon they felt it a little bit before. I think it was like
I feel like it was a little
slowly.
a little bit of flutters, maybe.
Yeah.
And then when they cooked, it was the turn.
Yeah.
Like it was like, yeah.
It's like, oh wow, like I actually really feel this now.
A quick hug.
No.
Lingered, you know. So it was sort of like,
and then season 2, we see that a bit more.
Yeah.
A lot of lingering, like eye contact in season 2.
Definitely, and he was like the first person that he went to look for.
He really, in season 1 too, but especially season 2, Loki confided a lot in Mobius. And then we see that as well in season 2. You know, when Loki says like that about like Sylvie beating him, and then Mobius tries to make him feel better about it, being like, oh well, that's kind of happened to me before. Like I've been beat by a girl, you know. He's trying to make him feel better because he's understanding that what you've just said was really important. You don't do this.
That's it. But what I liked about, and it was a bit significant. I cannot speak. Significant. I don't know why you try to say
say it for you. It's okay.
Like say these long words because I can't say it.
It's important.
So it was quite significant. Significant.
You know what? We're just going to move on from that word.
Okay, so
it was important. Just so
So
there we go.
An important moment. Do you know when Loki time slip? He went. Stop.
Sorry. I'll shut up.
He went like straight to the cafeteria.
He was looking for Mobius right away.
Looking for Mobius.
Yeah. He's like, he'll be where the pie is.
Yeah, because he is. He likes his dinner, you know.
Oh, I did think in season 1 it was so funny.
Yeah, when he was like ruining a salad.
Yeah, like he full on wrecked that salad.
My salad.
Maybe it's just like it's salad. He poured like soda in it and everything.
Yeah, like salt and pepper. He's like, this is what's gonna happen, and it was like,
I did enjoy when they went to like Pompeii, stuff like that.
Yeah,
that was interesting. I like the little Lokius adventures.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that.
But I love the when they went to where did they go? The carnival, the World Fair,
Chicago World Fair, the first World Fair, the first World Fair. I've actually got some fun facts.
Okay, let me just like see this. But I really loved when he went to the Chicago First World Fair, and they literally Mobius had snaps. He's like, try it now because we've got to be on this mission.
Got some,
you've got some there, and he's like, just try it. It tastes like ash. He's like, it's delicious, man. Like,
you know what, right? The Loki Instagram page, they posted that clip, and when he says it tastes like ash, they bleeped it.
No, it was definitely ash.
Yeah, but they bleeped it, making everyone think that Tom Hiddleston says arse, or as the Americans say, ass. But then when we watched it was ash.
It was ash.
I was so confused by that.
It really was.
I don't know what that was about. So the Chicago World Fair. When we see them at the fair, there's a newspaper. Yeah. Right. And within that newspaper, it says something which was historically accurate at the time. During the Chicago World Fair, there was a serial killer at the time.
Okay.
Which, mini true crime and spooky time mini-sode here. H.H. Holmes.
Yeah.
first official serial killer.
Yeah, built a big hotel with like a lot.
Yeah, murder hotel.
Yeah.
He built that.
Yeah.
Weird, crazy trapdoors and everything. Like,
walls and everything.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Wasn't cool, but
Well,
wow, it's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a story for another day. That's a story for another day to go into.
Basically, that is historically accurate. That happened. He purposely took out ads in newspapers at the time to advertise his hotel specifically for people coming to the World Fair. And in the Loki episode where they go to the World Fair, there's an advert that says about a hotel, and it was like all like factually correct, and that would have been a similar kind of advert that he would have put in.
I actually didn't realize that. That is so cool, actually.
Yeah. H. Holmes.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so they kept it like historically accurate for that.
I got annoyed though at the fact that like when Sylvie turned up, she was still trying to kill him, and it was like just
like, are we not over this now, Sylvie?
Boring, you know. Sorry. Like Sylvie, come on, just pack it in. Yeah. Like I really wanted Sylvie to die. I know that sounds really horrible.
I could understand it would give the plot like a bit more oomph.
It was sort of like,
but yeah,
you know, you basically caused this, so you should face the consequences. You know?
I can understand that. It did feel like there needed to be some sort of consequence for what she did.
I really want to,
But I found it really interesting during the conversation when they get to the end of time in season 2 again, and we go through the whole talking about the end of time with He Who Remains. But obviously, Loki is doing this through time slipping now.
Yeah.
And he's able to control things a bit more and relive things over and over again. And he has that conversation with He Who Remains, and he finds out more. And he says to him, like, how do you know this is the first time that we've had this conversation and all that? And he really turns the tables on He Who Remains.
Yeah.
And he shows him, like, you're not the one in charge anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
Things have changed now, and I can do things that you can't.
Yeah.
But then, control. Of course, we find out that's all. He Who Remains has always intended that.
He already knew.
He's like, yeah, you can do that because I wrote this. I wrote all this for you.
He learned how to control it.
Yeah, Loki did ultimately get the upper hand there and all that. But it was interesting, that conversation that they had about, well, if you want to solve your problem, kill Sylvie. But he just couldn't bring himself to do it. Because I think it represents killing a part of himself. He sees himself in Sylvie. They are Loki's, aren't they?
Sylvie, he'd feel like he was back at square one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like he was back at square one.
It's not the new Loki to do that.
But what I really enjoyed was that very vulnerable conversation we had in the bar.
Yeah.
I really like that.
They really opened up for each other.
She was like, wrong guest again. And he was like, do you know what? I don't want to be alone. And I was like, you know what, Loki, that's the first time I've ever heard you be proper sincere.
He just wants his friends back.
That's it, he wants his friends back.
He just wants his friends back.
He wants Mobius back.
Yeah, we all know. He doesn't mean his friends. He means Mobius.
But
we all know that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be alone, and he wants to spend the end of time with Mobius.
Yeah.
Like, it should have ended with them two running around TVA.
Well, it should have ended with them two on a jet ski.
Yeah, jet ski.
That's how it should have ended. Speaking of jet skis, I really enjoyed seeing who Mobius was on that timeline and his connection to jet skis finally explained.
Yeah.
We now know his fascination with jet skis.
Because he works in a jet ski centre.
That was his thing. Like, he was into it. Like, he knew what he was saying about jet skis.
Yeah.
He was, even when Loki tried to talk to him, he was like trying to sell him a jet ski. It was just so funny.
It was so funny.
He was like, "Oh yeah, well I've got a model in the garage. So if you want to take a look."
Did you notice how like soon he was just willing to give Loki?
He was at ease with Loki right away.
Like, no, who you like? If I'd have met someone, I wouldn't be trying to.
I'm not going to show you my garage. I'm so influenced by Americans, and I'll call it a garage.
A garage.
It's a garage.
Garage.
I'm like, garage.
But when they opened the garage, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'll take one. I don't need it now. My wife's not here."
Yeah, what happened to his wife? Was she in the blip? Did she die? Did she leave him? That wasn't explained. It wasn't explained at all. Like, we need more information on that.
We do?
Yeah.
By far.
And he said it very, like, nonchalant. Like,
yeah, he did.
Well, the wife doesn't need it anymore. She's long gone.
Yeah,
like,
where is she?
That was very odd. But yeah, I enjoyed seeing when he reunited with him and like got him on board.
Yeah.
The way he had to get all the team on board. Ultimately, like, I thought this is great. We're getting the band back together here. We're gonna save everything. This is gonna be amazing.
And then it just turned.
And then it was like reliving the Thanos snap.
Yeah.
Oh, seeing Mobius just
just spiral away.
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Loki's face.
It was sort of like, I'm losing all my friends again.
That was legitimately heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That was worse than Thanos' snap.
Yeah, it was. He was all alone. All alone.
But you know what I really did love? Getting back to like some fun facts and history here.
Okay.
When we found out that Casey turned out to be Frank Lee Morris, the former Alcatraz prisoner who escaped from the high security prison on June 12th, 1962. I was like, he's Frank from Alcatraz. Yeah. Oh my god. Like, I love this. I love the way they weave in real historical stuff.
That was really fun. It's a really oh my gosh, moment, isn't it? Like, it's amazing. A little thrill.
It was. I was like, I love this. The way they were like full on the shore and they were like going to Loki, you the boat guy, like, you got a boat? And he's like, no, I don't have a boat. What are you on about?
You, Casey. Yeah.
You said your name is Casey. It's Frank. He said your name is Casey.
I love it. It's so
you're so good. That the fact that they as well didn't just do it as like a little gag. Yeah. They full on explored it. Like, they showed Alcatraz. They showed the dummies in the bed. The whole, that they went through. The whole escape, everything. We really lived that with Casey / Frank.
Yeah.
And we got to actually experience that. And then to see him, like, interact with Loki, not knowing who Loki was.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was brilliant.
That was a sort of, like, perfect little comedy scene, basically, I think.
Not just comedy, but it also then made things with Casey make more sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he does have a sneaky side.
Who they are in the timelines.
And then throughout that, when like Casey / Frank knows who he is and who Frank is and all that, and two personalities are combined, he's very sneaky, and he asks about the tempad. Can that be used to go into a bank?
I forgot that, but yeah.
And Mobius is like, let me just take
that out of your hand. But yeah, Casey.
Or was it OB? It was one of them.
It was one of them.
And in that scene, there's a subtle nod to Ke-Huy Quan's character in the Goonies with the cap. There's a cap that's on the table. It's the exact same one that his character wore.
It's Data?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then as well, we see throughout there's a belt that he wears, a utility belt.
Yeah.
In the TVA.
It was basically the events with the utility belt. Yes.
That was a nod. The costume department wanted to pay homage to Data.
Data was so cool. He was my favourite character, Data.
I think everyone just, they appreciate that character for what it is. And they wanted to pay homage to that would have been such a famous character.
Yeah.
I mean, in all of the multiverse, who's to say that OB isn't Data? Or a different version of him isn't Data?
Exactly. You
can the multiverse.
Into the multiverse.
It's the multiverse. Absolutely. So there's one thing that I also wanted to bring up. We spoke about Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Well, there's a story in Norse mythology. You know what one I'm talking about. We've talked about it. It's weird. The horse.
Gosh, yeah.
I feel like they should have done.
Bring this up at some point.
I have to. I'll die on this hill. Look, they need to bring this up.
Okay.
I do think that we need to explore more little adventures, like with Lokius. Going to like different places and all that, but especially like a museum or somewhere.
Yeah.
And I want to see this myth in a museum, and Loki pointing out to Mobius what is right and what is wrong about it. And Mobius like just making fun of him. this is my fanfic, okay? But
Write it.
the real myth that I want to be portrayed in the show through, like, going to a museum or something, or reading it in a book, I want them to discover it because it's so weird and messed up. It's amazing.
It's just very strange.
So apparently,
Like,
at some point,
yeah,
like Loki and Thor's mum gets kidnapped, and to get her back, the person who kidnapped her wants Thor's hammer. But Thor's like, I'm not part with a hammer.
Yeah.
So the plan is to dress Loki up as Thor and go and all that. But eventually, the gist of the story is that doesn't work, so they need to do something else. And something happens where the other sides, they've got like someone with a horse or I can't quite remember it, to be honest. But they've got a horse, and that horse is like really strong. And again, I'm not familiar with the myth on like this section of it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they needed to like distract that horse or get rid of it. So Loki, being the shapeshifter that he is, turns into a female horse, distracts the hell out of that horse, enough for them to get
pregnant,
the mum back. You know, but in the distraction, gets pregnant.
So we all know what happened there.
So then Loki gives birth to a foal, one of the strongest foals ever, apparently, and like.
It's so weird.
I think it had like 6 legs or something. But yeah.
I can just like think of Mobius when you did that, and he's like,
all I can see is Mobius being like, "So you're a mom?"
Yeah, it was so you're a mom.
Loki just being like, "It's my son." Like, yes, this my son.
He made out with a horse.
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
it's a weird myth. I need to like look up the proper mythology on it. Because it's more complicated than that, and more stuff happens, but that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really funny because I just think that myth would probably be somewhere where they would go, and like it's like told as like a tapestry story.
Yeah.
And I could imagine Mobius being like, "You never mentioned that you were a mum. You know, what's this about?"
Yeah,
like something like that.
But Loki knowing full well that if you told him, he'll just make fun of him.
Loki just being like, "Oh yeah, no, that's just totally made up."
That's just a story for another day. Come on, let's go. We'll go to the next bit.
Yeah, like he'd just try and dismiss it, and Mobius just go on and on about it until he told him, and he's like, "Yes, I had a son, okay, like, and it's Odin's prized possession, like,
Like, okay, we're moving on now.
I have maternal instincts, okay."
Yes.
Definitely.
I am a parent.
I think it's one of the weirdest, like one of the more weirder myths in Norse mythology. But I like it. So yeah, with like, you know, we talked a little bit before about Jonathan Majors and Kang and all that.
Yeah.
And they are wanting to go in a different direction. It seems that they're dropping like Kang Dynasty and going for something else.
Yeah.
Seems weird though, because at the end of Ant-Man we did get that clip of Kang Dynasty, you know, all the Kangs together.
We did.
That was strange, but it looks like they're going to be shifting into more of a multiverse era and exploring. We've already kind of dipped our toe into that with Multiverse Madness, but it looks like they're going to explore more of that.
Are we going to keep Kang, but like obviously it just be different variants of Kang?
Well, it depends on whether that thing with the contract was true.
Yeah, that's true actually.
But they might be looking to just delve more into the multiverse and explore things more with like Marvel versus X-Men.
Don't forget as well, in the Marvels, Monica's now with the X-Men.
Yes, we have crossed over into a different universe.
Is basically going into the multiverse to prepare occasions.
Occasions. Yeah, well, he's with that random woman at the end. Yeah.
I think it was Clea.
Believe.
That's his wife in the comics.
I think she is the daughter of Dormammu.
Is she?
In the comics, I think.
In the comics, so that's who in Doctor Strange marries, I think.
Well, we might see a blossoming romance. Who knows? That whole third eye thing was weird.
Yeah,
Though. Don't
that
get me
was weird. I
started on
really
that.
didn't like
I
that.
didn't like the
I really like
direction
America
of
though. She was America Chancer.
that was amazing.
I really
But I
liked
don't
her.
think Sam Raimi should have directed that. Like
It
felt odd
yeah.
for
I
what it
really liked the
was.
Zombie Strange though. That you was really
That
good.
was good.
I
Yes,
liked
that
it.
was good. But I do think we shouldn't have had Sam Raimi direct
Yeah.
that. I like his work, but it's not Marvel.
I feel like we've
Not Marvel.
tangents here talking about Doctor Strange.
Yes, we
We
have.
need to
Yeah.
save the Doctor Strange episode for another day.
Oh yeah. But I do think they're going to go into a different direction.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to focus more on Marvel versus X-Men
I'm happy with
and
that.
like Deadpool.
Bring James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like there's going to be different versions of different characters and all that, and it looks like it's going to be interesting.
I've literally just stayed away from Doctor Strange, but Wanda killed Professor X, who is Patrick Stewart. So does that
in one universe?
Oh, so yeah, multiverse. So you could. Oh, yes,
well, in Logan, he died in our universe, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
there's
he's
many possibilities. Anyone can
multiverse. Yeah,
Anyone
multiverse.
can come back.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think Wanda died.
Yeah.
By the way, no.
There's no
If she
way.
even if she did, she can come back from a different universe.
Yeah.
So that doesn't even matter anymore.
Exactly.
Anyone can come back. So
Yeah.
any death doesn't really matter.
It's also
They have kind of ruined deaths a bit with the multiverse because
Yeah,
anyone
they
can
have.
kind of come back.
I really
Yeah.
Loki's death in Infinity War really got me a bit because it wasn't.
Technically, he did
just
die. Yeah.
there, yeah. It was sort
Oh,
of.
it's so visceral that.
It was visual. Yeah, it was sort of like
Oh.
it wasn't an end death.
It didn't
was
even
just
feel
sort of
monumental.
there. Yeah.
It was just oh, he's dead.
That's it. It was
wow.
sort of, it was a shock for me because I was like,
Is that it?
Like that.
Is that it?
Yeah,
That's what it felt like. Yeah.
They've killed my favorite character in the beginning of the film, but
Yeah.
in Infinity War.
But then now, obviously, with the Loki series,
yeah,
it's explored from the different what's it called? The way the timeline branch. Yes, he's a branched variant, isn't he? You know, so he's not technically even our Loki.
No, he's not. He's the 2012 one.
No,
Avengers,
so he is a different Loki, but we're following his journey.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think this new era of Marvel.
I feel like we're going to see Loki again. We've got to see Mobius again.
Well, he's at the end of time. He's garden time. He's bringing all times together so everyone can live. I mean, God, don't get me started on that like goodbye speech.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent of when he was hanging on, and Odin was like holding on to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent, but different. Yeah. It had a different meaning now.
It did, and the whole like where Mobius was like, "I'm just gonna let time pass."
Oh,
there's no way that they're separated forever.
No, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I have a feeling eventually, either Mobius or Thor or Sylvie or someone, they're gonna come and find Loki. Well, I think either they're gonna team up or something's gonna happen.
Loki or Mobius
Thor or but I think they might all find each other and then go and get Loki.
About Loki.
Yeah.
Because Thor's going to want to see his brother again.
But also, Loki's solution is temporary.
Yeah.
He can't do... They live for a very long time, but they don't live forever as Guardians.
No.
Also, I am worried about the toilet situation with Loki.
Yeah.
He's going to need to pee at some point.
Yeah, is he going to the toilet?
And what happens to the timelines when he... Oh, maybe it's the rain. Abby.
You don't know. No, it's a
good
weird
God, no. What, what's he gonna do? How does he eat?
Yeah,
how does he drink?
Like, just like reach into a timeline and get a burger or what? It's a temporary
solution. He can't sustain
that. Can't do that.
So someone's gonna have to come and relieve him from his duties.
Yeah.
But is that gonna happen? Like someone else gonna replace him, then someone else replace, then someone else replace?
Is it gonna be like Endgame where it's gonna be a big sacrifice? Someone's gonna replace Loki, or is Loki gonna make a sacrifice? I don't know.
I just don't see how it's ever going to be possible to sustain those timelines with a living person.
Yeah.
Whether they're Asgardian or whatever. Because that's temporary. It's always temporary.
Exactly. They're going to need...
So, I don't understand what the goal is there. But eventually, I mean, Mobius is going to miss him. So he's going to go after him.
Yeah, he is. He's going to find him.
He's going to recruit people, I think, to help him
is.
find him.
Exactly.
Who knows? Deadpool could even be involved because apparently it's rumored.
This rumor.
It is rumored that Mobius is going to be in Deadpool 3.
Can you imagine Deadpool?
Can you
meeting Mobius?
imagine Mobius just being like, "Listen, I need you to come and help me save
Loki,
my Asgardian boyfriend."
Honestly, my Asgardian
Deadpool will be like, "I'm in. Yep, let's go. Where are we going?
in.
The end of time? Okay, I'll get my time slippers."
It's like you shouting the accent like Colossus and that.
Yeah,
I love that. Oh, Dupinder as well. He's driving at the end of time in the taxi.
Oh God, yes, we need that. But yeah, that heartbreaking goodbye. Oh, that hit the feels. That was.
I filled up.
That was actually the last thing that they filmed.
Was it?
Yeah, so it really hit home for them.
Did hit
and you can tell the sadness, the panic in Mobius. Sylvie was a little bit panicked, but not as much as Mobius.
Loki,
like, no,
oh my God.
Come back.
Yeah. As whereas Loki's like, I'm doing this for you.
Yes.
Mobius.
Oh, it was very sad.
Yeah.
But it felt like the right move for the character at the end of the day.
It
did.
showed true redemption
and growth.
Growth and character development.
And I think Loki couldn't become the new Loki without doing that.
Yeah, he couldn't.
No. And
he knew what he had to do.
I was shocked at how, the way these, it came up on screen saying when he had to learn all that he needed to know to be able to, understand the temporal radiation and everything and the loom. He spent, what was it, 100 centuries there learning.
For it to just not work.
And then none of it fucking worked. I
felt so bad on poor little Loki.
I did, yeah. It was so sad, that moment when he realised it didn't work. Poor Victor Timely being the guy to keep being sacrificed.
Yeah, bye.
Oh my God, that was funny though.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, I really thought his arc was just incredible throughout this series, and to get to see the God of Stories, and he took his place on the throne at the end of time,
protecting all the branches and the timeline.
To see him use that power
for
good, and I can see he's probably thinking, this is for Thor as well.
Yeah.
For his brother, for his family.
All the Asgardians that I'm keeping.
Yeah.
Well, there's no there's no Asgard, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could see how much it meant to him to do that, and how sad he was as well, though, to be losing
everything.
His friends, Mobius, and
again,
his own life.
That's it.
He's now just sitting there holding time together for everyone.
It must be so bored.
Like I said, that is just going to be.
Yeah.
I reckon he can see into the timeline, so
Yeah, just checking up on everyone.
I think he can, but I just don't think it's a permanent solution. There, he's going to die eventually, as Guardians do. They live extremely long lives, but it's temporary.
Yeah.
And I think I'm hoping within the next, few movies in Marvel, we're going to see this unravel of maybe there's more and more incursions happening and more and more things where things are slipping, and we're going to need to revisit Loki and how can we keep the timelines in order, and how can we save Loki from the sacrifice that he's made ultimately. I think that's the direction it should go in.
Yeah.
I mean, I want a reunion between Loki and Thor. Yeah. I want to see the sunshine on them again.
I want to see the sunshine on them again.
And I want to see them be happy. But I want Thor to see who his brother is now. Yeah. What he's become.
That's it. I want to see him. Loki's actually got someone.
Yeah.
In Mobius as well.
I want Thor to meet Mobius.
Can you imagine?
Oh, so I can see him picking him up and hugging him now.
Yeah,
I mean, you're my brother's friend. He keeps talking about
I want Mobius to be worthy. I'm sorry, but that'd be so cool.
I think he would.
I don't know, but that'd be so cool.
Oh, that he could be.
That'd be so cool.
I think he could be. That'd be a nice post-credit scene, wouldn't it, for a movie?
And everyone's just like, what?
Everyone's just like. Should we just ignore that? Do we just not say anything?
And he's like, look at this.
No one tells him about he doesn't really know about Thor's hammer or something. No one tells him. So it's on a chair and he just picks it up to sit down.
Yeah. or just moves us so we can sit down. Yeah, I would love
And everyone's
that.
like,
have you just done that? What's going on? What,
and he's like,
what?
Like, what's wrong? And he's like, no one says anything. They're all like, just don't say anything.
Yeah, just like, did you just do that? I would love that.
Like,
Movies to be made,
yeah.
honestly.
And then Thor looks at Loki and he's like,
I approve, brother. I approve.
He's worthy.
He's
worthy, brother. Yeah,
yeah,
you know.
Yes.
Oh, get us in the writers' room, Marvel. Come on.
We would absolutely like turn Marvel around.
Yes,
definitely.
Mainly just to incorporate Lokius.
Yeah, we just want to make Lokius happen because it should be canon. It is canon in my.
I feel like it has happened, really.
Yeah, it has.
Subtly.
Yeah.
It's not overt. Like it's
not out in the open, but you know it's there.
Read between the lines and you can see.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that Loki series.
I just thought it was absolutely phenomenal.
It was my favourite
single best thing that Marvel's put out in a long time.
Since Endgame.
Yes, since Endgame.
Since Infinity War, actually, sorry.
Well, yeah, Infinity War, because Endgame, yeah.
Since Infinity War, Loki's the single most.
Yeah. I mean, I also really did enjoy Far From Home, but
I like Far From Home, yeah. I like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I did like Far From Home.
Thor Love and Thunder just wasn't.
No, it
wasn't it really?
Wasn't.
Good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I liked it, but you know, it's not my favourite. And Wanda, I really enjoyed WandaVision, but I just think Loki, it's hit different.
I really like WandaVision, yeah.
Loki
has
hit different.
Interesting.
There was so much going into it. Yeah. I think just the character development alone, even if you didn't have the storyline, even if you just focused on Loki and his character development, you have so much in there already. So I think they've done exceptional things with Loki.
Yeah.
I don't really have a criticism apart from the time slippers.
Yeah, that's me.
That was a letdown.
I agree with that.
That was depressing.
That was the thing.
I felt depressed looking at his feet.
You've basically pulled off.
He's supposed to be at the end of time, probably expecting someone like Kang or someone else, Doctor Doom or whoever, to come and pick him off. That's it, get off the timelines. I want to do my thing.
And well, he is wearing them slippers.
How are you supposed to defend time itself in those slippers? That's not sensible footwear.
Slippers.
Like, we're officially calling them time slippers.
They are time slippers.
Because he's at the end of time and he's wearing slippers. They look like a combination of something that you'd wear in hospice and ballerina shoes. They're not good. Hospice. And if you're and the ballerina shoes as well. They're a combo. Oh, they were so bad. I'd rather they just go barefoot.
Yeah, I would.
Or get a pair of like Doc Martens on. Some boots.
Converse even.
Something like that. Just anything.
Except then.
Oh, but anyway, that's our tangent over with time slippers.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I really loved Loki. Yeah. It is my favourite. I'd say it was my favourite Marvel.
What I would like to see eventually as a spin-off, something like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but TVA.
Yes.
I want to see all the different people.
Hunter 15.
Yes, Hunter B-15, OB, Pacey, and then I want to see other people.
Yeah, new characters in.
Yeah, maybe now and again Brad to figure out what he's doing. Yeah. Because I feel like he could have a good arc, the way Loki has. He could become a good person eventually.
But we dip into the timeline to see how people are doing.
Yes, dip into different timelines, so I'll get some cameos and some adventures of pruning different things, and a few different Lokis might show up. Maybe they won't look like Tom Hiddleston. Who knows? They might look completely different. Like, I know we need to find a way to bring them back, and that's probably the way. But they might look like Sylvie. They might look like completely different to Tom Hiddleston if they don't want to pay for Tom Hiddleston. You can still bring in a Loki or 5. There's so many possibilities. Like,
Loki, Crocodile Loki.
I mean, I loved seeing that in The Void.
I did. That was so
especially what's his name? Who played classic Loki?
I don't know his name.
Oh, Richard E. Grant.
Is that his name?
Yes, Richard E. Grant. Amazing actor. Amazing.
I liked him. He was really fun.
He was really good for playing that. I enjoyed that, and I think overall, like, it is just one of the best series that Marvel's done.
Yeah, it really is.
They need to do more of that, because things like
did.
She-Hulk,
Yeah.
they good, but it let it down a
wasn't-
bit.
Yeah, it wasn't
They
my
let it down a
thing,
bit.
She-Hulk.
No.
I didn't enjoy it, but that's my opinion.
I did enjoy some aspects, but a lot of it, the main thing that let down was the CGI. But that was
Yeah.
because the artists were really rushed to get it out in
Yeah.
time. And that's not their fault.
No.
That's not their fault. The latest series, Echo,
I actually haven't watched that
I
yet.
enjoyed that so much. It's
I
not
haven't
on
watched
par
it.
with Loki, so don't get your
Yeah.
hopes up there. Fantastic representation
Yeah.
for disability as well as for
The deaf community.
the deaf community, of course, but as well for the like minority communities,
Okay.
Native American communities. Like, it really, they were very respectful. They brought on consultants to consult with the Native communities on how things should be represented and how the traditions in that are represented. Phenomenal, amazing, fantastic. I loved it. Only thing I was disappointed by, there was no promotion. There was no advertisement.
There wasn't much marketing for it,
No.
was there? Except a few that I've seen on like a bus stop.
I have a feeling I know why. They don't think that this character, who is disabled in two ways, deaf and an amputee,
Yeah.
and she's, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe she's Native American.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think that they think these three things that make her a very unique minority
Yeah.
are not going to translate well on screen and
So
in
that's why
media.
they haven't paid
People
off
can't
the
relate.
Yeah.
People don't want to see disabilities on screen.
Yeah.
That sort of
But
thing.
really, we do. We want
Oh,
more recognition
absolutely.
for people with
That's what people are
disabilities.
calling for. That's what we
That's it.
want. First of all, just take Daredevil for a minute.
Yeah,
He's blind.
Exactly.
He's blind.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got Deadpool, who he has gone
Burns.
through burns.
Yeah.
He's essentially a burn victim.
That's it.
So
Exactly.
people who are different,
Yeah.
you shouldn't like just do no marketing, no consideration whatsoever.
Exactly. I think that's why people relate to Loki a lot as well, because he was different. He wasn't the
He
hero.
was, yeah. And he's adopted as well.
That's it. He's adopted. He wasn't the hero.
An outcast.
An outcast. And a lot of people feel like they're outcasts.
Definitely.
And that's why they relate to Loki.
And this series, usually with a Marvel series, what they tend to do, like Loki, is air it weekly.
Yeah.
This was all just dumped on one day.
Really?
And that was it. No marketing, no promotion, and then just dumped. Yeah, so they obviously do not expect this to have high ratings. No. The only reason they air Loki weekly is because if they uploaded it all completely, it breaks the internet. It's that popular.
That's very true.
You wouldn't be able to get onto Disney Plus.
You wouldn't.
So they obviously expect this to have terrible ratings. But you know what? As soon as it came out, my TikTok For You page was full of reviews.
Yeah.
And of people talking about it. The representation, amazing.
Yeah.
The storyline, great.
Exactly.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We get to see a lot of sign language being used, which actually doesn't feel odd a lot of the time, because they can be talking or the subtitles.
Yeah.
It worked. They did it seamlessly. I didn't feel like I was watching a signed performance of something. Do you know what I mean? Like, as someone who is hearing, I could watch that and I could still understand and relate, and there was no issue, there was nothing in the way, there was no obstacle. It didn't make me feel like this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. I loved seeing that representation. I loved seeing that this minority was getting the attention it deserves as well. And then her power, it's changed from the comic. It's a bit different. But her power comes from like ancestors and all that, and it's beautifully done. And it really ties in with her community. It's fantastic. I'd really recommend it. I feel like since Loki, that's been the second best series.
Yeah.
And it has not got the recognition it deserves.
It deserves.
Disney did Echo dirty.
Yeah. I will
It
definitely
really did.
watch it.
So
it's on my watch list on Disney
It's
Plus. I
good.
just haven't got time. I haven't had time
Yeah.
to like sit and watch
There was
it.
some pacing issues where I
Yeah.
thought like this could have been faster paced or something, or
Yeah.
But apart from that, the storyline itself was so enjoyable.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
It was really good. It is on the watch list and I will watch it.
And then if you've watched Daredevil, it ties in with that.
Ooh,
As well as Hawkeye.
Okay.
It ties into those series, and it looks like it's going to go on to develop into something bigger as well. So it's one to watch. It was good.
Yeah.
As someone from the disability community myself, I have ME, and it's an invisible disability.
Yeah.
I, appreciate that Marvel's trying to take these steps.
That's it. Well, I'm deaf, aren't I? I have hearing problems, so I'm appreciating actually recognition that deaf community.
We do appreciate that. It's good to see, but they did not deliver well on the marketing and actually putting it out there. It's like they felt like they had to make it to be inclusive and diverse, and then just dumped it on Disney Plus, which that's not great. That's not how you handle it.
No, it's not.
That should have got the same recognition and attention and care that Loki did.
Yeah, definitely. It's still a Marvel TV show. If you're going to treat
I believe it's called Marvel Spotlight, so it's slightly different than a regular TV show. It's supposed to bring more attention to the gritty reality of things and like more down to earth stories, which this was more down to earth, bit darker. Like, and it ties in Kingpin from Daredevil. He's really like prevalent in it. Yeah, just really good story. Really, really good. So yeah, I think we've covered a lot of things there.
I enjoyed talking about Loki.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that, and I hope we see Loki more in the future.
I think we will. I think we will. But we're going to see a lot more. Tom did say that he said goodbye to Loki, but he said goodbye to Loki about 2 times before.
He did say that before, and he said, but I have said goodbye to Loki time before,
so
you never know.
I think we can expect to see him again. I think so.
Hope so.
It's Loki. He doesn't die. He comes back every time. Every time. So yeah, I think we've talked about everything that we can about Loki.
We have. I mean, we could go on talking, but I feel like we've got the gist of what we wanted to say out.
Yes. If you guys have really enjoyed this kind of Marvel-related episode, particularly Loki, let us know in the comments. Give us some feedback so that we know what you guys like, and we can try and cater to different types of episodes. And also give us a comment of what other Marvel shows or movies that you want us to talk about. Maybe we can try and do that as well.
Yeah, we surely will. Yeah.
So thank you very much, and stay cozy.